Thank you, Nikunj Bhai. Thank you so much. And thank you to Bombay Chartered Accountants Society to give this opportunity to share my wisdom on how we build our personal brand and corporate brand. Is it all very, I'm audible? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Perfect. So very interesting topic, and again, I would like to give this the credit here to the World Congress of Accountant, where I met the BCS and the team, Nikunj Bhai and everyone first time. So the our all alma mater institute has connected us, and then we were discussing this topic, and today we are sharing with all the fraternity people, the chartered accountant over here. So very, very, I remain grateful to Almighty God who has, from the time we've been born, we've got our chartered accountant degree, given us a lot of opportunity. We think we are doing, but we know the which force is doing through us. Yeah, I'm grateful to my spiritual master, my parents, and who pushed me to come to Mumbai. I'm in a place called Byawar, Ajmer district, Rajasthan. Did my colleging from there, and then I came to Mumbai to do my CA. Grateful to all the present audience over here, the members of Bombay Chartered Accountants Society, the committee who have been put this together, and of course my team, Sajjad, Gauri, Himakshi, who is there on the call from 360 TF, who have put this together. So thank you once again. Very interesting quote by Mahatria, which says that for every yes, the brand value diminishes, and for every no, the brand value goes up. Very, very interesting. We are always, ready to say yes to everything, but sometimes when it teaches us key, okay, if saying no also can increase our brand value is very, very important. So I will be sharing a interesting video with all of you, which will, again gives us an opportunity to learn that how what does this exactly mean. Yeah, so my skin visible again.
Yes, sir. Big sounding.
Yeah, what you can read, Nikunj bhai?
The first step toward creating a brand.
Awesome, perfect. So let's see what Matya has to say on branding, and then of course I'll go to the presentation.
Everything about life teaches when the student within you is alive. Everything about life teaches. That's why I used to write that column called Unspoken Messages. Everything about life teaches. But it's such a beautiful thing for us to understand. Focusing so much on the big picture called moon, we are losing out on all the stars. As an entrepreneur, you should also understand the reverse. If the market has to perceive value, थोड़ा demand create करना है. The moon creates that demand. So its value ज़्यादा होता है. So moon is also teaching you as an entrepreneur, all of you, this value, saying that if you don't create them, the market pays premium when they feel it's on demand. Otherwise, they will not do that. That's why any limited version gets sold on a premium. Any limited version, it gets sold on a premium. Simply change this perspective. I choose my clients. I've seen architects do that. I've seen investment bankers do that. Now, we don't take everybody as a customer, so we'll have to profile the customer. In Bangalore, somebody built 12 apartments and said, you have to apply because we want to create the right neighborhood for you. You'll have to apply. And the sort of people got applied, rejected, everything. These organizations, they are all part of YPO. There is a selection criteria. And once you have to be rejected, then only uska value. I asked for YPO, they immediately took me as a member. Value kadayadu. Why do you think we respect Harvard? Because you won't get a seat. Everybody can get a seat. Will you respect it? Houseful பத்துக்கு தான் மரியாதை. எப்போ போனாலும் டிக்கெட் கிடைக்கும்னா மரியாதை கிடையாது. புரியுதா உனக்கு? Nothing. You've been president of the Chartered Accountancy chapter of the Gulf. You take the biggest hall in Dubai, which can take 1,200 people. The pressure is on you. We have to get 1,200 registrations. How will we get 1,200 registrations? Only 700 hua, hall khali dikega abhi. And you will have to go and beg everybody to register. Take a hall for 600 people. Now the pressure is not on you, it's on the market. Will I get registration? Will I get it? They're going to start a college. Cash flow will tell you if you can take 40 students, cash flow perspective, it's perfect. But on the long run, it won't build a brand. If you can take 40 students, take only 32. The number of people who could not get a seat in your college will increase your brand value. Every no, brand value goes up. Any brand. I don't care what the brand is. For every yes, the brand value diminishes, and for every no, the brand value goes up. It just goes up. Why do you think that however you have to pronounce that, Louis Vuitton? People keep cover also. Not that's the product. The cover in which bill is given, no, they have to show everybody I've got Louis Vuitton. Why is it priced like that? Because you go there, you freak out. Belt is so much. Chappal is so much. But it's priced like that for a reason. Because if everybody wears it, the brand value goes. Everybody should not wear it. The idea itself is only few people use it, then the brand value goes up. Everybody uses, the brand value comes down. Rajinikanth acts in a movie once in 3-4 years, there's a value to it. If he does 3 movies per year, value jata hai. Moon is telling you, demand create karo. Don't be available all the time. Sometime be available only for some time. Then you disappear. Sometimes you just come and show and go back. Sometimes don't come at all. Then everybody will see moon kidhar hai, moon kidhar hai, moon kidhar hai. Full time sun is available. They cover cooling glass and say, nahi dekhega. Both the sun and Ra are committing same mistake. All the time available. Should not be all the time available. So it's strategically you will have to understand. In fact, a lot of spiritual masters have used it effectively. By creating a demand, they've ensured that the value always goes up. So keep that in mind.
Fantastic. So, this is an interesting lesson learned, and I happens to be part of that morning program with Mahatria, where I asked this question about moon and stars, and I said, how many times you have said no to the prospective client, or how many times you have said no to a meeting which has been asked by someone. So it has to be very, very strategic. It's not that you start meeting people, or if somebody come to Dubai to meet you from BCS and you say, oh no, Nikunj bhai, I'm not available today, I'm busy. Yeah. So, but the point is, how do you prioritize that? And of course, that is very, very important. That the message which has come in from that. So let's move forward. Gauri, you're there? Yeah, perfect. Okay, wonderful, superb. So a brand being created, and how to build a brand. A lot of whether it's product, whether it's logo, advertising, slogan, tagline. How do you build a very, very strong personal and global brand? And I think that's very, very important. And I think it's a culmination of everything which creates a brand which is become a local and then global. Yeah. So we'll as we move forward, we'll go to the nitty gritty of that how a global brand being created. Interestingly, the personalities which you see on the screen, they have their own, apart from the company brand, they have their own persona, they have their individuality, they have their personal brand. So, and it all depends on how do you look, what you speak, the communication, your action, your body language, and all this put together create a personal brand. So Steve Jobs or Mark has become famous for because their look of their neck or the collar t-shirts. We have seen the brand called Modi jackets, which have been created in last over the years, and the organizations like Manyavas have grown. So this is how we start following or being a personally like a chartered accountant like Kumar Mangalam Birla and so on and so forth, or a Priyanka Chopra for that matter. So it's very, very interesting that what you do is one part, what you're doing for your organization is one part, but how do you dress up, how do you look, how do you present yourself in an environment is very, very important. Yeah. Am I audible? It's good.
Perfect, perfect.
Yeah. So is that physical appearance? Are you part of the social activities, or you just restricted to your CA practice or the industry, or you also participate in those social activities, those CSR activities, those ESG activities? You're writing your own blog on social media. Uh, are you investing in networking? So networking. So coming to event like Bombay Charter, the World Congress or the BCS event, in-person events in Mumbai, it's very, very important to build that network, because that network also gives that exposure to interact with the other fellow colleague, fraternity, prospective client, and so on and so forth, which all put together creates a brand called CA Nukunj or CA, uh, Deansh and Pankaj and so on and so forth. Yeah. So this is very, very important. Taking this forward, so dressing is very, very important. The Your social media presence, your habit, how do you present yourself? Uh, are you scratching your back or your ears while you do you there in the public? The small things which creates impact for yourself, and that's very important. Public appearance with the right dressing and right etiquette is very, very important, both for man and woman. So let's start with the men first. Okay, women, yes, women. Global Women Day is coming. So now, very, very important. If you're going for a professional event versus a festival event, how do you dress up? Jewelry, whether it's minimal, maximum, office wear, your weekend dressing is very important if you're working in a corporate world. As a woman chartered accountant or a woman entrepreneur, it's very, very important that how do you dress up for the day. If you're going for a presentation, corporate meeting, a traditional attire versus a corporate attire is very important. Again, which creates the personality of yourself. That's what it is, and we have seen that even working in a larger organization, some people will come in that traditional attire versus a proper corporate form. So moving forward for the men, it's again very important that how do you dress up in terms of your tie selection. Is the slide is moving? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it is.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So how many of us will have a right combination of a tie, or is a event where it's an award event, you're going to getting an award as a best chartered accountant, representing your company, practicing firm? Are you going with a bow tie, or are you using a right combination? I have seen chartered accountant using tie with a check shirt. Ideally, you should be having a plain blue shirt, light blue, or a plain white shirt with a nice tie. But and I just learned, But if I go back, I've more used to make those mistakes. But wearing a dark red color or dark blue color with that fluorescent ties, not the best combination. Or wearing a check shirt with a tie, again, not the right combination. So very, very important. If you're representing yourself, is it the dark? Now I've seen very heavy maroon suits, and so versus a black and gray, right? On weekend dressing, if you're working on Saturday or Friday in an organization or a bank or a corporate, again your combination with, I've seen sometimes black belt with brown shoes and vice versa. Yeah, matching socks. Cufflinks again makes impact. So you're coupling with chartered account CA return or NS for Nikun Shah. Yeah, and pocket square is again very important. Therefore, if you've seen the old movies of Ajit in the old 60s movies, you will see that those days Ajit wearing a pocket square. So this is how again create a differentiation of you as a personality, and how do you look and how do you appear in public. Yeah, taking it forward again, we discuss about the social activity, that are you leading a group, whether you are a part of a building association in your building, or you're part of a team which representing a social cause in your organization, you're part of a BCS, you're part of any other association, you're part of an association which is working on COVID or vaccination drive. So again, very important. There are a lot of chartered accountant members I've seen in Dubai where they say, oh, we help to get a new job for the fellow members. And like I took an initiative in 2016 when I was the chapter chairman. We created a list of 2,000 HR heads in Gulf. LinkedIn Connect, but then anybody from India come for a job, will give that document to them. At least he can go and see that if he connect with that HR head on LinkedIn, whether there's any vacancies, and of course they will come to us, and then we will give some references. So again, it's very important. Are you taking those speaking opportunities, starting with the branch events, or the student events, Vikasa? I'm sure the Chartered Accountant Student Association, where you can go and take up some sessions for them and share your knowledge, and then you start talking at the for the the association events, and going branch level, regional level, national level, and the international conferences. So this is the starting point, and again, this is how I have started speaking from branch level, and of course now I've spoken in almost 37 countries, out of which 20 will be our CA chapters in 47 countries. So again, this giving back is very, very important. So as they say, that give us gain, what goes around comes around. So working for the society, helping fellow members, taking up those knowledge sharing sessions for juniors, youngsters, become very, very important, because what you're giving, you're not giving any money, you're giving your time, which is much more precious than any check or a donation. Yeah, so that's very, very important. And we have seen what Sonu Sood have done. I mean, yes, we have seen him in the movie, but I think he came and spoken in ICI Dubai chapter early last year. And today, more than any Bollywood actor, everybody will remember Sonu Sood and what he have done. Again, this is how, again, apart from your personality as a Bollywood personality, you created a brand. In fact, when I go to a few chapters in other branches, like in Bahrain and Oman, and somebody say he's Sonu Sood of Qatar chapter, or he's Sonu Sood of Dubai chapter. So if somebody working without any commercial interest and a purpose to help the fraternity, he's being now compared in these countries with Sonu Sood. So again, there are many of us who would have done this, but this is how a personality see as a new brand recognition, as a personal brand, and which is a real life example what all we have seen. Yeah, and again, we have seen Leonardo, what he have done, and starting with the foundation at the age of 24, and he appeared in 2019 as a Global Citizen Festival, and praised by all young people for his passion for the climate change. So we have seen these personalities. Yeah, well noted. So moving forward, again, and this is a case study. We have one of our member, Dhamrajan Pateri, in Dubai. He was part of the Dubai chapter committees also. And apart from his, practice or his role in experience, he have done various marathons. He have done a lot of summits, long cycling. He went to Kazakhstan and being part of this, Ironman competition in Kazakhstan. So again, you creating a differentiator. If I have a 20 chartered accountants and who are in the same GST practice, or a tax practice, or a company tax, and so on and so forth, what is your differentiator? So the society sees you, that apart from your normal practice, you being part of this initiative, you have taken that courage to run for 5 kilometer, 10 kilometer, 20 kilometers, climbing that the mountain in Kilimanjaro in Africa, and so on and so forth. So that again become very, very important that you part of what it shows, the market sees that your ability to take the risk and going out of way to take these part of these initiative versus a normal day-to-day routine chartered accountant. Yeah. So this is again a classic case which you've seen. We have a lot of case studies which we have seen in Dubai. You see this our chartered accountant member Venkat Krishnamurthy. Again, he's a chartered accountant, done practice, running a software company in Dubai for long, and he has taken a very interesting initiative. He collect old pencil or unused pencil. So all of us, kids use a pencil and then we don't use it, and it remain in our pencil box or a bag and all. So he collect the old pencils across Dubai in more than 100 schools. And as you see, he have collected first time when he did this contribution 25,000 kgs, not 25 kgs, not 250 kgs, not 2,500 kgs, 25,000 kg of pencil stationery, and of course donated across the globe, especially going into villages of India. Now he continued to run his business, his practice, his software company, but now he being known as Pencil Man of UAE. He's been recognized by the government of Dubai and so on and so forth. Now this again, you're creating your personal brand, that you are not again a typical chartered accountant running a software company, but because there's a brand recall value from the fraternity members. Oh, this is a Pencil Man of UAE, so yeah. So again, we have a Sridhar Sitapati is a member of Bahrain chapter. Rather, he's a former chairman of Bahrain chapter of ICI, and he have done interesting paintings. He have created painting for Lata Mangeshkar, Asha Bhosle's, and Narendra Ji Modi's, and so on and so forth. So again, more than people know as a CFO or a past chairman of Bahrain chapter, he get remembered that Sridhar Artwala. So this is very, very interesting. Personally, sitting in front of us, we all may have a passion for art, for doing CSRs and so on and so forth. But are you able to show that publicly? It's not that you want to take advantage, but you create your own personal brand, and that again create a recall value apart from what contribution you're giving to the society or youngsters to motivate them that okay, yeah, they can do a painting as well. I have seen when I was again chapter chairman, when we did a social event, a chartered accountant member coming in doing a painting, dance, and so on and so forth. Again, the recall value being created by a specific individual versus 100 chartered accountant who we see on a day in day out. Yeah, so moving forward, again, I'm sure you heard of Masoom Meenawala. She's become very popular on the various social media channels. And again, this personal brand is being created because of her social media presence, her fashion style, and the fashions which design which she created for the fraternity, and she being part of Women 3030. Yeah, so it's her own brand being created in Masoom Meenawala. So again, could you create that the the Nikon chartered accountant or any one of us who being known for specifically about this is a GST guy expert, GST wala, we all say chai wala. Could anybody say what this tax guy is a GST wala or income tax wala or excise wala? Yeah. So again, it was up to us that we create that within that business, that focus. Nikunj bhai, you want to say something?
No, we are going great. We are going great. Please carry on. Please carry on.
Yeah. So again, creating the differentiator, the focus within your profession that you've been known for, either of these within segment of corporate banking, taxation, ESG has become very big because I assume most of us are chartered accountant presidents. Could you become the expert focus of ESG, setting up the ESG standards or doing audit of ESG that create that brand for yourself that you become ESG wala. Yeah. So moving forward, important networking, as we discussed netvesting, that how to use these forums. Yeah, be it Insta, be it LinkedIn. I'm sure you heard of Toastmasters. A lot of chartered accountant are Toastmaster members. BNI also have seen a lot of chartered accountant being member of Business Network International. Not to praise myself, but I was the first chartered accountant in Dubai in 2009 to become a member of Business Network International, BNI. And then, of course, a lot of fellow chartered accountants also joined along with other industry guys. But again, you take that initiative, become part of that. But today, I know a gentleman, chartered accountant, Sunil Sethia in Chennai. I met him in a conference, and he's running a couple of leading BNI chapters. Again, he's known for that. His practice is running, but because of that exposure of leadership which he has taken for BNI, again, is a differentiator for him. So, if you are into practice, it's very, very interesting story. BNI generally for startups or SMEs who have just started the business, generally staff less than 25, 0 to 3 year vintage, maybe revenue less than 10 crore, and so on and so forth. And we used to think that why I'm going to a chapter called BNI Business Network International, where very low vintage entrepreneurs or founders are coming in. And there's a very interesting case studies in US where there was a Goldman Sachs guys coming into this BNI, and there was a gardener coming into this BNI. Goldman Sachs guy, being Goldman Sachs, he never used to interact with this gardener, and one day said that I'm looking for a reference to this professor into this university for my child admission or internship, and any reference. And interestingly, the professor, which was the Carnegie Mellon University, was the gardener who was part of this BNI, was doing for gardening at that professor house, who was being the professor in Carnegie Mellon University in US, and this is the guy who was looking for the reference. So the gardener has given a reference to a professor to an investment banker. So you never know that what can come out of a networking. It's not that only a chartered accountant or a person who done well or better than you can only connect. Sometime a lift wala or a taxi wala, or anyone can give a connect to someone. I don't know if you know Sanjay Agarwal, the AU Bank founder. You heard of anyone? Nikun bhai, I'm sure you heard of it. Who have founded AU Bank? So Sanjay, as being a chartered accountant, yeah. Interestingly, I was in Jaipur where we have our office, and that I was in a taxi. The driver, we were talking about banking and which bank we are working in. So it was our team, and say, sir, I was the driver for Mr. Sanjay, who's founded AU Bank. Let me know. I have his WhatsApp number. Driver, so you never know. Yeah. So moving forward, that each of these networks could be very, very important. Now let's come and talk about the social media. BCS team, can the members, I think chat box, they can put an answer, right? So I want to answer you. I think we have close to 120 plus 100 plus chartered accountant. Any one of you have your LinkedIn followers 5,000, 10K, 15K, 15K plus, can I request members to, I have a case study over here, to answer in the chat box and how many followers you have on your LinkedIn profile. I'm holding here. I'm looking for 3-4 good answers from the Apurva Tiwari or Arpit Goyal, Asmit Junjunwala. If you can answer, Bhupender Shah, CMOL Kaset, that how many LinkedIn followers can I? You may want to go and visit your page if you're not visited after a long time. CS Sonu Jain, Chaitanya Maheshwari. Would you answer in the chat box how many followers you have? Shraddha, am I audible? Okay, we are seeing some answer. 1500. Kishore Bhai 3100. Dinesh Sharma 1500. Okay. Chat is disabled. I think it is coming since that chat is disabled. Okay, 1500 followers. Amit Bhai 1000. Can we have a few more answers quickly? You can also answer in Q&A. Dinesh Bhai, Dinesh Sharma, Jyoti, Kailash Singhal, Kaushik Makwana, Kiran Kapadia. I still want to see answer above 5,000. Mahesh Gupta, Mehul Shah, Namita Agarwal, Naveen Jain, Naveen Nishar, Neha Bhargav. I can see a lot of answers coming in. Okay, chat box 3,000. Okay, 1,500, 11,000. Weber Manik. Wow, fantastic. We have someone about 11,000. Interesting. So this is very, very important. I can see among all today who have replied, Weber has got the highest number of followers. So Nikunj bhai, please on our account deliver a chocolate for Weber bhai, Weber Manik, who I can see have got the highest number of followers of the member of your society, and of course he must get you a sponsor for your physical event in your future. Yeah. So let's go to recommendations. I'm sure all of you are familiar with LinkedIn recommendations. Yeah. So anyone who have a LinkedIn recommendations up to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 25, or 25 above, or about 25. Can I see more answers in the Q&A or chat box? Number of LinkedIn recommendations you have on your LinkedIn profile. Sumit Mantri, Vikrant Baradia, Rajesh Agarwal. Okay, let's see. Two recommendations. Shashil Kumar, two. Can we have quickly more answers here? And it's not that the name which I've taken you have to answer. I can see whatever name I've taken. Anyone should, I mean, most of you should participate if you have a LinkedIn recommendations on your profile. Anyone from my team or Nikunj bhai, anyone can see which was the last answer you see in the chat box? Chaitanya Maheshwari 5. Wow, wonderful. So very important again, moving forward on this, that do you get recommendation from your seniors, from your colleagues, if you are in industry, or if you are into practice, from your clients? You'll surprised to know today that maximum number of time spent today by a professional is not Insta, Facebook, and Twitter. It is LinkedIn. Of course, WhatsApp is more of an individual, but when it comes to social media platform, the maximum time invested is on LinkedIn. And we have not understood the value of the recommendations, because if your client recommend you, if your colleague recommend you, it has got a lot of value for your profile. And when you're going and pitching a new customer, when you're going and meeting a new person in any networking event, the first thing today the next counterpart does is he go and check your LinkedIn profile. And if you're pitching for a, let's say, new job for that matter, okay, they see, okay, what has been the recommendations. But especially for members in practice, this has become very, very important tool. Then can you get recommendations from your clientele, yeah, or your counterparts, yeah, because that shows the visibility when you go and pitch to a new client first time and you're increasing your portfolio, that what sort of feedback you have from the fellow professionals. So, this is very important. And just for you to share again, not to praise that, I, voted as the most recommended person on LinkedIn in Middle East with 250 recommendations across, 17 countries. And this is very, very important. If I tell Nikunj bhai and I meet Nikunj bhai first time and say, oh, this is what I've done, I can say and praise whatever I want to praise myself and create a very, the interesting profile. But when Nikunj bhai have to expose myself to the forum like this, Bombay Chartered Accountants Society, he will go and check my LinkedIn profile and say, oh wow, he has been recommended by a lot of audience from a Kenya chapter or California chapter or Washington chapter. Makes sense to invite someone like him. So this is again very, very important. Moving forward, again, what are the key steps to create your brand? Yeah, so it is your characteristics, which is you admire, whether you always feel look smiling, your discipline, you always come on office on time. People know this guy will never get late for a meeting, okay, or you are a risk taker, so people see, okay, this guy will not shout, or if I done something wrong, he will forgive it. So how you shape your overall character, and sometimes people say, oh, this guy's got a smiling face. Let's create your own personal brand. Oh, this is a kind guy, who you always come forward to help. So this is very, very important. And that lead to that, how do you develop your own personal brand on your liking and disliking. So this is very important journey, that what character you want to create. Most of the time it come natural to you, and that start helping you to build your personal brand. Yeah, moving forward, that this is, these are those baby steps which help you to that. Now, I've seen a CV comes to us, and we have people in culture manager Aparna. He once he sent it to me that he is coming into a sales role and he have only 200 connections. That if he have that passion for a sales or business development, if you have not built his own connect so far, yeah, how are you going to do business development for me? Yeah, so we have this thumb rule in our organization that if sometimes it may sound silly, but we have created that as a system to shortlist, the candidate, that if we have not have 500 connect, or if you not updated his LinkedIn profile, or you don't have recommendations, then what sort of a personality he or she could be? Yeah, so that's very, very important. And again, this is again, you need to do that dip check. That what is the reality versus perception? That it is just are you faking yourself, or you're really a genuine personality where people can trust and believe. And so this is again become very important, that you create that persona, that, oh, I can blindly trust that person. Yeah, you create that sort of a character for yourself, be it in organization, be it for customers. People trust you. Yeah, so that's very, very important step. So again, taking it forward, that the overall, how do you communicate yourself? You could be a great brand, but how does your strength, your qualities get exposed? Are you writing a newsletter or a blog which people come to know about your knowledge on? Again, it could be a GST or ESG or any relevant topic which also communicate your brand, so to the persona overall. You may have your strength, but if you're not able to communicate that to the larger world, then okay, you are globally connected. Yeah, you travel frequently, you are with Big Four, you're going for a cross-border audits and so on and so forth. But what do you do? You may not to mention, oh, I'm traveling to Oman, taking the flight. I see, I was in recently from, again, coming from Ahmedabad to Nagpur, and it's like somebody clicking his boarding pass and writing on social media, taking a flight to Nagpur. That all is fine. But what purpose you going? I'm going and speaking, or you're going for a particular conference, which is a public information that shows again, oh yeah, I've attended World Congress of Accountant. Okay, at least you're building your network. So this is very, very important, that how you overall create your personal brand and how you communicate to the world about your strength. Yeah, and that comes with writing those blog newsletters and so on and so forth. So again, this is very the important of building a personal brand. So very important, I've talked about this, but it's again very, very important that the timeliness for the meetings, whether it's meeting with the client, meeting with the board meeting, even a parent teacher meeting, you should be on time. Yeah, you know so you are not the person who are last to enter into any conference or a meeting and so on and so forth. Very important. Are you proactive? If you have a team, a project being announced by your industry, be or in your company, and are you aggressive enough to take up uh, that you have taken that proactive step. So you need to set out that okay, oh, any project, this will he will always come forward. Are you listening, to listening to your peers, whether it's a training program or your one-on-one with him, your appraisal? Are you listening to your subordinate, your boss, or your colleague, and so on? So listening is also very, very important, which we all learn in programs like Toastmasters. So this is again overall shape your, and it's well said, and very, that your smile is your logo, your personality is your business card, and how you leave others feeling after an experience with you becomes your trademark. Yeah. So when you leave a meeting or a social gathering, and then what they talk about you, create that this thing, whether they're talking about personality or you're positive about you, or they say, okay, ये तो बोलने के लिए बोलता है. So this is very, very important that what people talk about you was. So, but what are the benefits? I'm making money, I have my EBITDA positive, I'm making $10 million, $5 million, 50 crore. I have to put all this time on creating my personal brand, using the label pin, that again, I've seen this meeting chartered accountants, they only use label pin when they go to another chartered accountant gathering. But when they go into their office, when they go into other conferences, I've seen a lot of them, they don't do that. The label pin is not that you're going for a CA gathering or a branch event and you use a label pin of chartered accounting or a CA. But it is important when you go for a non-CA event, you equally use that CA label pin. Anybody know? I need an answer in the chat box again. What one can perceive you other than chartered accountant when if anyone sees you and when see a CA logo, and especially you go to non-chartered accountant fraternity, okay, what people can perceive that you're representing which organization. I want to see some answers quickly in the chat box, that if you're not going for a CA fraternity event and you going with a CA logo, what people can perceive you. I'm still audible? Yeah, Dinesh bhai. Let me see if any answer has come. Professional achiever, this is okay. So let me just answer you to, there's a bank called Credit Agricole from Europe. And when I go for a banking conference, I prompt them to speak to me. Oh, are you from Credit Agricole? Then what does 360 TF is? So Crédit Agricole is a large bank from France, and they have a similar logo. It was in social media earlier, and there was a discussion on that we have copied their logo and so on and so forth. The point here is, are you using this lapel pin in non-CA event, and you prompting them to come and speak to you that what does this CA mean? Yeah, so that's again very, very important. So what is the power of the brand which you create for yourself as an individual persona? You get a better or a best clients. It helps you to build new partnerships, of course, leadership opportunities, because that brand again gives an opportunity to go up the ladder. You'll be surprised to know that, I'm sure that a lot of firm, they say this partner is into PR, right? So this is very common. I've seen and heard that in the practice, where you have four partners, three partners, two partners, one partner. Oh, he's active member of social council or a central council. So this guy is on the PR, and these partners are into execution. Yeah. So that is important, because what does it mean that with that persona, this personality, you get that as a leadership position, and we all know that that even in organizations we have seen recently, that the organization like Reliance and others, if you are having a holding a position in any of these network, associations, whether it's YPO, EO, and any other alliance and so on and so forth, it gives that advantage to you to take a leadership position, because the company also want that, CA practicing firm also want that you can represent the firm better to a larger audience. So this is again very, very important. And okay, of course, build a credibility, recognition, which we all seen today. When you participate in any award, any competition, best chartered accountant, award organized by Institute of Chartered Accountant of India, when you share everything what you've done, but then how many times you've spoken, how many events you have gone, how many followers you have on LinkedIn, recommendation, all these add up to again a personality which help you to also get recognized on various forums. So all in all, we all seen, I remember those taxation days where Palkiwalas and Bansi Mehta sir, we will go to hear their their session on taxation just after the budget. We should go and listen to this, and because that is the brand we create. When it came to taxation, when it came to particular topic, the individual chartered accountants have created those brands, and they will be always sought after. That after budget event, we want to hear this person. What is that? That is the brand, because that speaker has become so famous that the organization, whether it's the government of India or institute of chartered account, will invite that persona because it carries that brand of expert in taxation. So this is to talk about overall on a building a personal brand. To sum up, before I go to a corporate branding, that when it comes to individual, differentiator, contributing to the society, overall your appearance in terms of your dressing sense, your the appearance, the fraternity which you're representing, the company you're representing, and so on and so forth. So that's uh, just a recap. Of course, we'll share the presentation with BCS team for your benefit. But this is to sum up. If anybody want to comment, of course, we'll have a Q&A session. But this is to see that overall. Oh, yeah, it's very important. Isha, volunteer, save soil, deliver rivers. Very good, Srinivas, sir. This is very, very interesting. And yes, even I was part of the, when Sadhguru came to Dubai for the Save Soil rally, I was part of that, the event. And then again that, yeah, you being part of that, these missions, which is being led by large leaders of us. Now, moving it forward, personal brand is good, but we cannot sell. You cannot dilute equity and raise capital on an individual personality. Yes, you do create a copyright like a Pele as a footballer. When you create a brand and you create a Pele cafe and Pele t-shirts, and then the brand royalty do come to you or to your foundation. But it is very difficult to monetize from a commercial perspective, direct that, okay, this brand have a X value. Yes, we have a couple of IPL player is a very interesting example. When they get paid, and we have now the first, the woman cricket player, Miss Mandana. So what the price is? Price is your individual brand, what you created. And the best example of creating those individual brand and getting fetch that value is IPL. That you on your individual personality, you're creating a brand value. So again, it's very, very important. And I've seen all the sport personalities, not on the Bollywood side, but you see a lot of endorsement which happen post their retirement. And you've seen cafes, t-shirts, souvenirs, and so on and so forth, museums to do with those personalities, which the royalty goes to the foundation. Yeah. Moving forward, corporate brands, super brand, a lot of CA firms again I've seen. We have almost 200 plus chartered accountant firms in Dubai, again led by Indian chartered accountants, and but have that brand of that firm other than Big Four or Big Ten has become a super brand. Yeah. So this is very, very interesting to give you perspective from an India perspective. And what are the top brands, market share by brand value into various segments? Of course, engineering and construction is being led because of course the overall the market share as well, led by banking and IT services, oil and gas, and so on and so forth. So that is very, very important that what sort of industry you are, and if you are a chartered accountant working in a engineering and construction company, you have all reasons to see whether your company brand is being well recognized. Because if you're engineering and construction industry, which even when I saw this data, I was surprised to see that. But of course, this was in brand brand directory that the construction and engineering brand could be the top. Yeah. So again, what sort of a brand value you're creating, and that shows from the sector that if you are in a banking and if you're not in top 5 brand or top 10 brand, then you're lag behind. Yeah. So this is sector dashboard for corporate India. And so moving forward, this is again a very, very from a interesting perspective that top, let's say, last 10 corporates. So the brand value of Tata Group today is $23 billion, led by Infosys $12 billion, Mahindra Mahindra, Wipro, SDFC $6 billion. So this is again very, very important that in your balance sheet or in your overall valuation which you're building, what sort of intangible valuation you're building for your corporation and an organization. Yeah, most of us miss that. We of course focus on EBITDA, which is very, very important from a cash flow perspective, but you also along with that creating your brand of your organization. Because when you go to a VC fund, a private equity fund, and an IPO, how much you will able to fetch on the goodwill and the brand of your organization is very, very important. And we have seen A lot of organizations with, especially the startup, when they're going for pre-series round, and so that, yes, they are still loss making, but because of the brand, they can fetch a better valuation. So that's very, very important. And that needs to be again taken, that how do I building a brand for my corporate, which is intangible, but when you dilute equity or raise capital, go to private equity fund, it has its value. Yeah. So yes, we can move forward. Yeah, it's very, very important. That we all know Big Four have created their own brand and brand value, and that is what is this, a multiplication of the number of professionals working in these organizations. I'm sure a lot of the regional firms, local firms are also coming up. But why the brand is high? It's just not that they are extraordinary. We all say that sometimes that we can do a quality work, respective which Big Four is, but why they are recognized? Again, brand recall value, a value. A non-chartered accountant board member in an organization, or a non-chartered accountant engineer working in a VC fund or a private equity fund will say, "Oh, who's your auditor? Are you getting audited by Big Four?" While okay, Big Four has or Big Five has become an analogy, but what is comes is the recall value with them, which is gone in their mind with this Big Four, because there's a science about that, how a particular brand create a mind share in your mind, and that's where the recall value comes in. So again, what sort of logos you have, what sort of taglines you have, and what message you are communicating to your customers, client, from your logo, from your tagline. Very, very important. Yeah. And we know that, when it's Nike and they say just do it, and we have seen very, very the interesting, the HSBC, the world's local bank, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So it have that message which have got a larger purpose, like we have enabling trade finance globally. It have got a purpose that you want to enable that trade finance globally. So it's very, very important what story your brand is telling, how creative is your logo. We as a firm, we did a lot of brainstorming when we came with this idea of 360 TF. I have my colleague, who's one of our first team member, Binita Shah, from Mumbai, and we did a lot of brainstorming, whether we should use 360 as a number digit or not. It's a very common word. Then, but after the brainstorming, we came with this 360 TF, 360 trade finance. The TF look and the circle gives you an impression of registration, or the registered brand. So now this is the recall value which is comes, which is what message giving you that okay, they can give a 360-degree solutions. So what sort of a logo which you created for yourself, for your company, and what sort of tagline which you have created, we have not seen this with a lot of practicing firms. Okay, so that's very, very important for us to create that sort of identity, which is again very, very important when you're creating your own logo. And again, we took a shortcut. We will do ourselves. We will not appoint an advisor or a PR agency to do so. I think it's worth investing in that. Yeah. Okay, this is very interesting, Rajesh bhai, point. This is interesting to know. BNI is not allowed by ICI guidelines. While I know that a lot of chartered accountant are being members, I've seen in Chennai, but maybe this is interesting to know. Thanks, Rajesh bhai, for the feedback. So again, very, very important, that how do you create that corporate brand? We have this jute bags versus plastic bags. I was part of World Congress, and very few practicing firm was giving jute bags versus a plastic bag, because we all know the plastic bag durability versus a jute bag, and now world is going ESG. Uh, can you see a mobile sitting on the desk along with 5 teacup? This is very, very interesting. This is a mobile cover. This is extreme. We have never come across so far, after traveling to so many countries, a mobile cover being branded for a corporate logo. And we have done this for ourselves. And something very interesting, Nikunj bhai, for you to know, all our team members' phone number ends with 360. So all of our phone numbers, whether we are in India, Bangladesh, Qatar, we have my colleague Gauri from Qatar, we have my colleague working in Bangladesh. all of our phone numbers ends with 360. Again, that's a brand recall. Well,
Excellent, excellent, Pankaj. Wow.
so it took a while to talking to Airtel and all, and I have my colleague in Jaipur office, Suresh Sharma, and it was interesting. Earlier, we have not given that seriousness, but today when a call goes, because the customer have not saved your number, but if he have received your WhatsApp number, sir, I am from 360 TF, and when I talk to you, and he is not responding, but when he see a call, out of 10, one customer, oh, this is a 360 guy whom I met in that conference, and I think trying to reach me. Again, moving forward, we all no no just sorry. I'm moving forward to point number two. Gauri sir, just go back to the slide. Uh, we all on a Zoom team. We have learned during COVID. We have done a lot of webinars, a lot of this seminar. Yeah, but you see today my background on the Zoom screen. I have my own branded background with 360 TF on the top left and the tagline and the number of customer banking network on the right side with a map. And of course, if I go and if I close my camera, you see 360 TF logo. Now this is a must we have in our organization. The the team member is not supposed to interact with any other team member or a corporate unless he have a logo when he closes camera and he have a background. Simple, small things. But I've done call with World Bank IFCs, and we are on the call. You see this the screen right side where you see the gentleman smiling. He's my CEO and co-founder Vikram Loda. Left side is our head of sales Lokesh. Both of us, they have the background. On the left side is Mahavir. He's very active member of TAI Jaipur, and he's being startup ecosystem. He have interviewed Sunil Shetty recently. But you see the background. So we all know. But I've seen this. Of course, when BCS team is on the video close, you can see the logo, right? So this is very important for all of you. You can do that. We all seen these stickers on the laptop on the floor cover. Branded T-shirt is very common in India. But are you using this every Saturday if you have a weekend dressing? Yeah, coffee marks, very label print, very important. We have created our own chat box, Tia, which is again the branded the communication. So again, rest all I'm sure you have come across coffee table book, which is we all create those coffee table books, whether we are a branded or we got a super brand or not, whether that coffee table book of your organization, okay, you could be any small firm from any Thane or Virar or from Borivali, a mid-sized firm, but you can create a good coffee table book of your partners, newsletter returns, your team member for who is there for more than 5 years, and that coffee table book should be there on your reception. It can be when you are attending a conference and you're putting a stall in World Congress or accountants in Vio Center on your stall. When people are coming, going, do you have a coffee table book? They can just turn the page and see what has been achieved by you. Or if you're part of a large award or a competition and they give you a coffee table book, whether you're able to put it on your reception. I'm sure most of you have done that. But these are small things make a lot of difference. And we have seen this. We'll be surprised to know, Nikunj Bhai and team, that I'm going into metro in Dubai and I see somebody carrying a jute bag. So much so, Nikunj Bhai and team, we were in World Congress. We had very few jute bags which we have distributed to few known people whom we could. And we literally on the end, the next day of World Congress, I'm coming to BKC for a meeting and I see somebody carrying our jute bag at the bus stop in BKC. We was amazed to see, that how come, he have got it and how you got it. But that's the power you have. So very important, the corporate diaries as well. You can see the picture. So taking it forward, the next slide, Gauri, you can take it forward, is co-branding. Now I know that institute doesn't allow that easily to do a co-branding, but you've seen the corporates doing co-branding, and McDonald's doing co-branding with Coke, or Apple with Nike, a co-branded SBI card with the airlines. So we all have seen. So this is also very important, very important. not much attention has been given by corporates and individuals. What is co-branding? The co-branding is that, to put it very simple way, that you want to meet a senior person in a conference, and if you know Nikunj Bhai as a member of the BCS, you are with him when I'm talking about individual co-branding, and while you standing next to him, when everybody is coming and saying greeting to him, you also get to know the new people. So we all seen that some personable people will be surrounding him in a conference. That is a co-branding. Yeah. When it comes to the corporate, what sort of tie-ups you can do? You're part of the industry, creating that co-branding card or co-branding scheme with the other service provider, so that the brand multiplies. So your brand goes to them. So we are today, just to share with you as a public information, we are part of Ministry of Commerce initiative, which is called Federation of Indian Exporters. Now, if you go to Federation of Indian Exporters website, FIO, you will see 360 TF icon over there. Now, this is co-branding, and when anybody from UAE, any part of world coming to India, we connect them to the FIO. So, like, these are the various co-branding program which you run with your partners, which giving you a branding awareness to their customers and your customers. And of course, there are various ways. You do a lot of revenue sharing schemes and so on and so forth. And we have seen that what Citibank have done when Citibank came to India and so on and so forth. So that's another important one if you're in industry or otherwise in practice for your clients. Not necessary what I'm talking today has to apply for you. It can apply to your children. You can guide them. If your son has got he's the head of the, let's say, Dhirubhai Ambani school, and if you got a badge, he should be carrying that badge as a head of school when he's going to other conferences along with you. So if my son, if he can join me in a Dubai chapter event, and if he's the head of school and he have got this badge, he can carry on his coat. He should have more than have. This nobody restrict you to what achievement you got, and if you got anything to put on your jacket, you must be carrying into any of the conference where you have opportunity. So the message here is, whether you're building a brand for yourself, or if it's a personal brand for your kids, your spouse, and if it's a corporate, if you are practicing, you can advise to your customer that, okay, when you're doing a valuation with a VC and a private equity fund, how much value you're given to your brand. Just not go by EBITDA multiple or a GMV valuation for your startup or for your company running into profit. How much you will able to fetch for the valuation, right? This is very, very important when it comes to you advising to your client. Yeah. So, okay, taking it forward, we have seen the case study. Individual guys start with a yoga guru and create Patanjali, the biggest brand ever, which we have seen, and it's gone into Harvard case studies and various case studies globally, where a Unilever talking about the threat of this brand. So, it's very interesting if you've not read the Harvard Business Publication on Patanjali, that how they have created this brand. Now, very interesting story. Individual personality first create his personal brand, which is personal brand, go and create a large corporate brand, which gives a competition to everyone. So this is again very, very important, that you could be a athlete or a marathon runner, but tomorrow you go and create a supplement company for protein, and that personal brand become a corporate brand. Yeah. So very important, which I'm sure you're very familiar with. But this is again a great case study, that how an individual super brand or a personal brand can go and create a $4 billion revenue plus company. Yeah. I'm sure all of us know the case study of Amul, and we all seen the hoardings in Mumbai for so many years. But today is again, this is the only LinkedIn page where I will go and, irrespective whether it comes in my feed, I'll go and check that what is the post today on LinkedIn by Amul, because of course I'm not based in Mumbai. But again, what we've seen, what Amul have created last 50 years, and it is that creativity at times which get attention of the eyes. Now, taking this example from Amul, if you're doing any sort of a publication, if you're doing any post on social media, can you create that buzzword, that creativity, that message which is catchy, which take the catch the eyeballs of the your audience? And we have seen what Amul have done, that Rishi's Sunuk or Rishi's son UK. Yeah. So very, very important again. And message and the lesson learned from Amul here is that could you have that creative message in your communication? It could be a monthly publication, every 15 day, every week. Like we have this every Saturday where we post and publish the banks which we cover in Africa or in subcontinents in Vietnam and so on and so forth. And we have seen an interesting case study that, oh yeah, I got an order from Vietnam and I've rejected. And now I see a post that this is the bank being covered by 360TF platform. So very important that that sort of a creative publication, whether it's weekly, monthly, or a yearly, if you can create something, a good newsletter for your clientele with some interesting information, people will wait for it. Yeah, I have not received this post or I have not received this newsletter or publication. Again, I don't think there's a restriction of ICI on this sort of publication, but are you sending a newsletter to your to customers? Yeah, where you can write the articles from your clients, your colleagues, and create a nice newsletter. Yeah, we discussed initially for networking, the networking for the individual, but for the corporate is also very, very important. Yeah, you have eligibility of a travel and business, and you're relaxing, but you know that everybody who travel in business is worth something. Are you doing networking with them? Yeah, I saw a recently post by a chartered accountant with Anil Kapoor. She happened to sit next to him, and it was a viral on LinkedIn and social media and so on and so forth. But anyway, that's on the Bollywood side. But could you network in the launch when you're waiting, for your flight, in flight, have you seen a case study in our company cracking a client in a flight or elevator where they will ask is what is this 360 TF is or what it is, whether it's a chartered accountant or a credit agricole. Yeah. So again, it's very, very important. And how do you represent how do you utilize, leverage this time being spent at launches, in flight, in networking events? Again, interesting thing I see, very, very interesting. When we go to a conference, whether it's a CA conference or any other conference, all the members from the company, okay, sitting on the same chair, same table. So you are from an audit firm, you are going to a World Congress, and all of you are standing together. You are not networking with your own team. You are there in that event or a conference to network with others. So we have again this rule in our team that when we go into conference, all of us sitting on a different tables, not on the same table. Yeah. Otherwise, there's no purpose of going for the networking together. Yeah. So that's very, very important. Again, that's an area of improvement both for individually and corporate. You are going and you're sitting. You are a Gujarati sitting standing next to Gujarati. You are a Tamil Brahmin standing next to Tamil Brahmin and having a curd rice. Yeah. So again, we have to break that. That could I go and be part of the different group? When I'm going for a networking. This is again very, very important, and I've seen this across various CA event across the globe, that you standing or sitting in general to your close person whom you know, then breaking that ice and go and network with other person whom you know, whom you don't know. Yeah. So this is very important, and how much you're investing in these networking events and the conferences and so on and so forth. Annual conferences, the regional conferences, especially again, we are all chartered accountant. I have attended 9 annual conferences of India. When Subodhji Agarwal was there, president, I went to Calcutta. When Raghu was there, I went to Bangalore. When Devaraja Reddy was there, I went to Hyderabad. Yeah. And this is how I also got connected with a lot of chartered accountant. It was that conscious investment which we have made. And today, yeah, I mean, whether it's Ranjit Dada from Vice President or Aniket, we've been meeting them in various conferences last so many years, and they all of you can do that if you are into practice and you want to build the network. Now, this is again not meeting again an Indian chartered accountant. You could meet the IFEC president or IFEC representative in these international conferences and build your network. Yeah. So again, very important being part of. Are we going to ACCA conferences, CMA conferences, CPA conferences? If you're not member, can you get an invite? Build a different network. Like in Dubai, we have a 12 chartered accounting associations, CPA, CIMA, Egyptian accounting, Philippine chartered accountant. I have my colleague Minakshi based in Qatar, and along with Gauri, we've spoken in Philippine chartered accountancy session. With now we also building network with Philippine chartered accountancy, Philippine chartered accountant in UAE, in Gulf, right? So this is very, very. Are you breaking, or again you restricting yourself to the your own fraternity, or you going to a various other associations? Yeah. So taking it forward, again, so this is uh, again CSR we've spoken about, but this is an interesting case studies which we have done again in last 12 months. I'm sure Ekal Abhiyan you're aware of. It's a very interesting where Ekal means one, and it's a concept of where one teacher in a village leads a student population of 25 to 30. So Ekal have got now 80,000 schools across India. So we are part of this. Our team contribute, we contribute, and the overall company contribute to this, and we're part of this where we have taken a pledge to open new 11 schools in villages under the leadership of Ekal Abhiyan. And moving it forward, a global art competition, again, very, very important. We have nothing to do with the art, but we again wanted to connect how this is again interesting idea which comes to you that you know this came in that last year December, that how do you still keep engaging the kids, because COVID was just getting over and kids were still not going out. So we came with this idea, why don't we create an art competition for our clients and other peers and their children? And literally we got paintings from more than 15 countries. And this year again we did a second follow up. The first one we had a Rubal Negi again from Mumbai who have done the painting of the Dharavi, you know whole Dharavi she painted, and she was was the chief judge. This time we had a MF Hussein's son who was the judge. So again, this is called co-branding. I was looking for this example that you co-branded with somebody like Rubal Negi, who also have a persona, well known, well followers, and she comes and work with you as a judge. You go and connect, Mr. Hussein son, who again, of course, a famous personality now in Dubai, and he's your judge. Now he have his own followers of art. You are doing art competition, and you are doing a co-branding. Yeah, book drive, very, very important. In Dubai, the kids are sometimes spoiled. They have so many English books. They have series of books which they bought and is lying their library, and they're not reading it. They're going to university and so on and so forth. So we took a pledge, and we had interesting where my daughter Bhakti and my other colleagues kids, we all came together, and along with the existing drive, which was drive called Old Book for New Eyes. Yeah, and we took this initiative, and you know um, very, very interesting. We collected these old books in our office in Dubai, and those books went to Kenya, to the old, to the children, poor children who don't have access to these books, with the help of Lions Club. FedEx, they gave us a red carpet, no cost, and FedEx tied up with us on this initiative. So we got 7,000 books, and we have sent. Our initial target was 2360, but we collected 6,000 books, and that went to Kenya. Now we want to repeat the same thing for India, because we could not collect Hindi books. So of course, in Dubai, we can collect Hindi books also and then send it to India, and which can be distributed to the schools where children cannot afford books or they don't have access to this book. Now, these are the initiative again, which you do as a CSR, but unique, not just that what has been done by everyone, but you come with something very, very interesting, which not only engage your team for the CSR, but it also create that brand awareness that now 7,000 children or 3,000 children also, or 3,000 children parents also know about what is your purpose, why are you working and helping Indian exporters to go places, or how you helping Indian exporters through your platform to go to 190 countries. Even a non-chartered accountant also knows that. Yeah. So this is again become very, very a very important initiative. And yeah, and we are aware of this, the cleaning drive, and the marathon is also very, very important. And I've seen a lot of chartered accountant in Mumbai participate in this. But you see what Standard Chartered have done. Stanchart Marathon itself have created a brand. Today, if you sell, you have to sell Standard Chartered, which is, of course, we all know it's in news that they are bidding going on for Standard Chartered. One of us come into discussion, but if you have to just value Stanchart Marathon, it have its own brand identity and brand valuation, which Stanchart have built over the years. So if you do a Standard Chartered valuation today, you will have maybe $1 billion valuation just of a Stanchart Marathon as a brand. So this is again very, very important that you first participate as an individual, being part of marathon. I'm telling you, the people when these few you done 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, 20 kilometers, there is a premium to it. If you are a healthy entrepreneur, and when the world know that you are spiritually inclined, you are healthy, literally you get a premium because they say, okay, if he's taking care of himself, he can take care of my balance sheet or of my company. Yeah. So again, very very important, and it depends on you what how you can come. You can work with the closely with the kids, underprivileged kids. I'm sure most of us would have done this in a large organization, but whether in a small firm or mid-sized firm, if we are into practice, can we take these small initiatives, which again help you to be part of the CSR activities, and it create that brand as well. Yeah. So yeah, this is again very interesting on the CSR side. Taking it forward as we move forward, again very interesting. So yeah, we were just a 12-month-old company. This is of course few month, 8 9 months back, and we're being rewarded by 3C as a super brand. And the Super Brand Association, which has got the stalwarts of the industry, they say, "Oh, you are just 1 year old, and we cannot take you into this participation." I said, we are a subsidiary or a company which is formed by the promoters of our parent company Nimai, and we could showcase them. Otherwise, generally, if you're not a 3 year old company, you will not get an entry to be part of the evaluation process of super brand. So again, now you have done a lot of brand activities, but now, how do you recognize that brand become a super brand? You file that super brand application, and in Dubai, we have a lot of chartered accountancy firm who are being selected as a super brand, the uh, the tier two and tier three firms. And this is so. If you have a spend or a lot of time on super brand, you could on brand building, you could apply for super brand, and that's give you further exposure to that. And talk about IPL brand. It's a very very interesting report by a large the brand valuation company on building a brand like IPL. So if you can take, I request my colleague to change the slide, that IPL have created a extraordinary valuation as a brand. If a few years back, IPL franchisee were valued at $6.3 billion, and each individual franchisee have his own valuation. So there's an individual valuation as a their personality, whether it's Jadeja's or Virat Kohli's, but there's a each individual IPL team have his own brand value, and we have seen this is the report which was being published by uh, Duff and Phillips, which is a large law firm and the branding valuation company, and very very interesting insight that how the IPL brand franchise has been growing as a valuation, and they did very interesting study that how they arrived at that valuation. Each team member who is part of that team, their Insta followers, their Twitter followers, which give the mileage to the brand which they endorse, and then the team collectively created a brand of an IPL team. Very interesting report. You must read that how these teams have been valued for what they have done as a franchisee, which is from done by the Duff and Phillips. Yeah. Okay. So taking it forward, that again a non-commercial entity become the So this is the methodology which they have used, which of course we'll share the presentation, and then you can of course go through. But very very interesting that on the left side, if you see, very interesting question. Any guesses why RCB and MI Mumbai Indian has the highest number of uh, you know uh, followers on Instagram? Anyone want to answer this? Anyone want to answer? Again, because they're team members, right? What team members they have, it gives a co-branding advantage to the various teams. Yeah. So again, that's a very interesting. So couple of interesting quiz as how much time we have BCA team? We have almost like 20 minutes. Okay, let's go to the quiz. So of course, before we come to the quiz, again, this is very, very interesting. Uh, data points on the personal branding, which is of course have been achieved over the years by these stalwarts. Whether it's Padma Bhushan for C.A. Kumar Mangalam Birla, or Padma Shri for C.A. T.N. Manoharan, or Padma Bhushan again for Deepak Parekh, and Padma Shri for Mohandas. So all of them are chartered accountant, and that should be our objective. I will say that we all must aspire for that at some point of time. That they say that the highest recognition in India is from, whether it's to Padma Shri, to Padma Bhushan, to Bharat Ratna. That are we there in that sort of we have that inspiration to be part of this list as a fellow chartered accountant or a fellow professional. Yeah, and that's all add up to the, from your opinion, the work what you do and how you're building a whole ecosystem of network and so on and so forth. Yeah, so we're all proud of this, our fraternity member who have been recognized by government of India for the work what they have done. Yeah. Okay, so we move forward. So let's have some answer here. Who has got the highest number of followers on Insta? All of these four personalities. Let's wait for the answer. Answer is B, Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay. So Gauri, what's the answer?
Yeah, so the answer is B, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, fantastic. Well done. So the answer came from, yeah, okay, Gauri Reddy. Fantastic. Okay, interesting one. Who has highest followers on Instagram in India? Priyanka, MS Dhoni, Narendra Modi, Virat Kohli. Let's see the answer. Who's answering? No answer. Let's wait for 10 more seconds. Gauri, can you see any answer coming up?
Yes, sir, I can see. And most of them have answered it very correctly. It's Mr. Virat Kohli, who has the highest follower on Instagram.
Fantastic. Superb. Let's move forward. Highest numbers of followers on Twitter. Everybody's saying B, 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 B. Okay. Gauri, what's the answer?
Yes. Yeah, I think they all are very much active on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. So they all know it. The answer is Elon Musk.
Fantastic. Super. Let's move forward. Oh, interesting one. So they have to visit now 360 tier page. But before that, where the BCS? Okay, we will go to that Bombay Chartered Accounting Society. So if you're there on your phone, go to LinkedIn and answer this and guess how many followers 360 TF have. And if you want to build a powerful brand, do follow our page, and you will see how we have built this brand in last 19 months. So let's see what answers coming in. So a lot of people have answered that. Fantastic. Yes, we do have a almost 29K followers, almost an average of 50 followers per day, which we have got in, and we don't, very, very interesting. We have a team, my colleague Lakshay and Vinita. We have very, very interesting post on economy, trade, cross border, and so on and so forth. This is how you build your following as well, not that you're marketing yourself on LinkedIn. Yeah, okay, Gauri. So this was at 29194. Let's see how many uh, members are following us. Oh wow, we have got today in just last few minutes 20 followers from the BCS, Bombay Chartered Accountants Society. Wonderful. How many followers the Bombay Chartered Accountants Society have? Let's visit BC. Can you share the BCS link, Gauri, in the chat box?
Yes, sure.
You all must follow. Chaitanya, thank you for sending the LinkedIn invite. I just saw my phone. I have not seen it for last 90 minutes, but it is again good to connect through social media, through LinkedIn. We stay in touch. Yeah. So, okay, answer is up to 10,000. Okay. Let's see. Answer is C, 6,000 to be precise. So this is to share with you. Go back to the next year. So 2 hours back when we made this presentation, the following of BCS was 5809. Let's see now that how many of you right now we have a 70 plus members on the webinar. Let's see how many of you have followed. So from only one follower increase, not acceptable. Hold on. The all members have to follow the BCS, Bombay Chartered Accounting Society LinkedIn page. This is the networking start from here, right? We cannot have that. It was 5809 2 hours back, and we still at 5810. Yeah. So this is very, very important, and this is again very important. I will ask committee also that when you send your future circular, you request the members. How many members we have? In the chat.
Around 10,000.
Yeah, so we need to have those 10,000 all members. They should be following our page. Again, very, very important, what we discuss this today, because our own members should know that what activities we are doing, and of course their network become, as they say, your network is your network. Yeah. So request everyone to follow BCA LinkedIn page, taking it forward in the interest of time. Yeah, so globally, which is the topmost brand? Let's answer this. Answer coming is B. Let's wait. B, C, A, O. Very interesting. Different answers. Okay.
Yes.
Right
So
answer.
we have a mixed response for this, but the correct answer is A, Microsoft. Microsoft
Yes.
has the highest number, it's the topmost brand globally.
Yeah. Fantastic. My India, the most top brand recognized energy brand, ONGC, Bharat Petroleum, IOC, Reliance. Okay, we have answer coming in. 2 answers so far. Interesting. Dr. Sunil, CA Dr. Sunil, answer is B. So a lot of answer coming for IOC, interesting. What's
Well,
the answer for this?
yes. So all the veterans have answered it correct. It's Indian Oil Corporation, who is the topmost energy brand in India.
Fantastic. In India, which is the topmost FMCG brand? Answer is coming in. Dr. Sunil says Britannia. Mr. Lakshman, C. Lakshman says Hindustan Liver. Okay, let's see the answer.
So yes, it's Hindustan Unilever, which is the topmost FMCG brand in India.
Fantastic. Yeah, topmost fintech brand in India. Easy one. As I said, this is easy one. Oh, we have A as well, huh? This is Razor Pay. Yeah, so Razor Pay have done well. By the way, Razor Pay started from Jaipur. Yeah. Okay. So answer most of what they are.
Okay, so sir, yeah, they have correctly answered it. It's Paytm for now, but we soon look forward that 360 TF name in this.
One day.
Yes.
Definitely. Yes. Right answer is Paytm. Highest follows on LinkedIn. Joe Biden, Bill Gates. Let's see what answers coming in. D, 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 O, B. Kishore, Pahuja ji have answered B. Interesting. Let's see the
Yeah.
answer.
So the correct answer is B, Bill Gates. Mr.
Yes.
Bill Gates has approximately 36 million followers on LinkedIn.
Fantastic. Yeah. Can you move it forward, the slide? We already seen this top fintech brand. Just go back. Yeah, so not only we are, you know, we've got a 29,000 followers, but I'm happy to share as a being a chartered accountant follower that our fintech 360 TF globally in trade finance has got maximum number of followers added in 12 months time. And we have again a fantastic team. My colleagues, work with us, Pradyuman Sharma, Benita. They have worked very hard to being the make us the highest number of followers across the globe, not only India, but across trade finance industry across the globe. We've got the highest number of followers in period of 12 months time. So this is great. So again, it's a wonderful to speaking and sharing our brand story with all of you. And I'm sure together we build our personal brand, our corporate brand, and we also get that valuation as an individual, like a IPL team member or that corporate who get that extraordinary valuation for the being brand being created. So thank you
Yes,
once again.
yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I think if anybody has any question and answer, they can put up on chat as well as in Q&A session. Or if possible, they can raise hand. We can, if possible, we can promote them to talk. So I think there are not any question, or maybe people are yet to type. So I will just start with vote of thanks. On behalf of HRD Committee of BCS, I would like to thank you, Pankaj sir, for guiding us all. It was pleasant hearing to you, sir, on personal branding and network. We actually, as a chartered accountant, focus more on the technical aspect, but we fail to fail, or we are very less on the soft on executing the soft power of branding, which is actually important at present stage of the because of online presence and all. I hope everyone in the meeting will have some takeaway and they will accelerate their personal branding at different levels, like co-branding or saying no. That was very much takeaway. We should be saying no at many times due to workload and all. So, and we will start taking small steps. And sure, we will add the LinkedIn profile as well to our mail BCS mail ID for increasing the value. LinkedIn. Thank you. And last but not the least, thank you to all the participants and BCS staff for organizing very well. Yep. Thank you, sir.